Hello and welcome to Sailing Northern Breeze. We are Aaron and Marie, and we're going to take our sailboat from Canada to Europe on the Viking route, Greenland, Iceland, the Faroes, and Scotland. So after 7 months away, leaving our boat in East River Shipyard on Nova Scotia's shore, it was a bit of a tense morning as we drove in to see the damage. Or if there was any, hopefully not. We understand that there were 6 storms over the winter with sustained winds over 100 kilometers per hour, and that can do things to boats who are standing on the yard up on jacks. But we've had no reports of anything. We're just nervous. And if you haven't seen your sailboat in 7 months and it's been a couple thousand miles away, of course you're nervous. So this is the entrance to East River Shipyard. It's a busy place. It's the end of April, early May, and things are underway. As we're around the last corner down to the harbor, we see they're launching a big power boat right now. Turn left here and we'll see a bunch of sailboats, and we'll try and find a northern breeze in that stack back there. A little bit to the right. A light blue bottom for anti-fouling paint. Keep turning, and there she is, still standing, looking good. Way to go, Breezy. Now we'll get a better look. So once we got here, we did a little sightseeing. We went up to the Cabot Trail, and boy, it's beautiful on that north shore of Cape Breton Island. Lots of vistas, and if you see down there those little white spots, those are lobster traps. After returning home, we had a few repairs to make. So Marie decided to make a new Dodger, and Plume, Chief Inspector, made sure that she did a good job, and it all passed, so we're good to go. We had a little bit of repair on a bit of wood that got wet during the storms, but no big deal, we got those done. Then we did some annual maintenance jobs, new sacrificial anodes on the prop shaft and the prop, check the through hulls, make sure the feathering prop feathers as it's supposed to. It goes flat when we're sailing, and it goes different directions in forward and reverse as they should. It was a rainy day that day, not so much fun, but jobs to do on the boat. All good. We put a few new bits on, like a new chart plotter, and we're good to go. Here we go from East River up to St. John's on the first leg of our journey. So we decided to set out on a first long hop from East River to the Cape Breton Islands.
It's always an exciting and scary time. Come on, you know it. You always get scared.
Yep, I hate this part.
You got the Goldilocks picture, the little red boat and the big white boat. Ours is just right. She's airborne. Ten jack stands, I think. There was a lot of them. 4 up each side, 1 in the front and the back.
I think so. Are we going to rock and roll there all night long? You figure? It'll be okay?
Yeah, I mean, you're protected from the breakwater, and you don't have much fetch for the waves to build coming this way, right?
Okay.
Unfortunately, like, there's a lobster fisherman that parks there.
Yeah.
And some of these boats over here should be leaving today.
Okay.
Like that big power boat on the far side of that dock. will
Okay.
be leaving today. So once they move, we could move you over there.
That sounds. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
It just. Yeah.
There are some boats over there that will be moving. So if that spot is uncomfortable, then we can move you around.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
I appreciate that.
And I've got the plywood all set up for you in this building.
Oh, you're great, Mike. Thank you.
So we set off. It was Marie's first overnight sail. That was the sunset, and here's the sunrise. We made it through, and I was tired that next morning. It was about 5 o'clock, but the sun was up. It was a foggy day, and this is what it's like, motor sailing on a foggy day on the east coast of Nova Scotia. We put this wind generator up while we were in St. Peters. We stopped and did that so we could have enough power to run our auto helm or autopilot through the night if we needed it. We had originally planned to go up through the Brador Lakes, and you'll see right in the center there, just left that number 2, there's a very narrow spot. There's a lift bridge. Well, some kids decided to play Dukes of Hazzard and run the lift bridge, and they broke the arms off. So the lift bridge was locked down for about a week and unoperable. We had to leave the Brador Lakes soon after we got there and head back out to the ocean to go around Cape Breton.
And this is St. Peters Canal coming out of the Brador Lakes. Swing bridge behind us. Isn't that cool? Nice engineering. This is a hurricane hole. People come in this little canal when there's bad weather coming. They tie all the boats in here and bring them in off the lakes because it's pretty protected. Big cliff on this side. Some rickety docks to tie off on. Transmission in neutral, coast into the lock. There's the big doors. Opening the other end, then we're out to the Atlantic Ocean.
I think it's gonna be chilly.
But you look like you're ready for it.
I'm not ready.
Well, if you fall in, we'll certainly find you in that get up.
Yeah. Fisherman's pants. My bright orange save me jacket.
That looks like about a half a dozen lobster boats sitting out there ready to get going. Now we got to dance around all their lobster traps out there for the next couple hours. That's not much fun, especially when they put them right in the frickin' channel. Oh well, they got to earn a living, I guess. Okay, back on the boat, get ready to go.
And this is Louisville Harbor. We spent a couple of nights there, tied off on a fishing wharf. Got some practice at tying off on 6-foot tides, so your dock lines allow you to go up and down with the tide.
Think about a different channel.
Yes, I agree.
Now, before we go.
Sure. But say hi, Marie. I'm doing a video.
Hi, Maria. I'm doing a video.
Hey, we are just outside of Fortress Louisburg on the fishing dock, and there they are unloading last night's catch. And there's the fortress off in the distance. Hard to see from here, I guess. But we went up there yesterday. It was great. Long walk though. 5K. We hitchhiked back. Some guy asked us if our vehicle was broke down. We said no, we're just old, we're not broke down. He gave us a ride. Anyways, getting prepped, getting the lines ready, and we're heading to St. Pierre. Woohoo! Talk to you guys in a bit. There's Marie hooking the halyards on. She climbs that thing like nothing. It's a good thing she's 25 years old. An older person might not be able to do it.
It's tight.
We sailed out of Louisville Harbor early the next morning for an overnighter. It's going to be 179 nautical miles. This is leaving Canada and heading to France, the French territory of St. Pierre. Another foggy day, but
I don't know if you can see the whales.
we had some visitors.
He's breached a couple of times. This is amazing. I think there's 2 of them. There's one. Woohoo! Haha! There's the second one. Maybe a small one. Maybe a baby. Oh, no, big tail. And there's a freighter on the right we just got to keep an eye on, but
There he goes again.
didn't mind me waking you up for this.
No, he didn't. I wasn't really sleeping.
Watch from there. What are they, 100 feet away?
I don't know. Doesn't really matter.
You see a little bit of their back, I think, and then the tail. It looked like a wave coming on the horizon. I just saw kind of a wave, and then I saw a tail. See that wave kind of thing?
He's having a good time with his tail. You want a blanket?
No, I'm good. Behind the Dodgers, good.
Amazing. They're amazing pictures.
Blow. There's a blowhole. We might be going the same direction.
I think we are. Close to it.
Yeah.
Still with all the wind.
I gave up on the wind. Or gave up on me.
anything else good like that, feel free to wake me up.
And now here's just a little bit of sailing video for our sailing friends out there. Little starboard tack, heading to St. Pierre. We got some sun finally. The wind's coming over my right shoulder, and later in the day it's going to switch and come over my left shoulder. It's going to be going downwind most of the day. So the pole's out there to take advantage of that wind shift later. Switch the sails to the other side, and we're ready for it. Taking it easy and enjoying the day. In the comments a few moments ago about awakening Maria. We take turns sleeping during the day so that we can stay awake at night. The hardest part of this overnight stuff is between, say, midnight 5 a.m. So we decided, you know what, it's better if both of us are awake at that time so nobody falls asleep by themselves. We can keep each other awake, watching TV, watching movies, whatever. And keeping an eye in front of us, make sure we don't hit anybody or anything. So that's what it is. We try and get naps during the day, but if something exciting happens, we want to see it. Wake us up. And we arrived at St. Pierre. Sleepy little town, but very quaint, and it was a great place to pick up a little wine, a little cheese, and rest up from our long passage. We checked in at the sailing school right there, the blue building. They informed the local constabulary, the gendarmes, and they came down and checked us in and stamped our passports, told us to fly the quarantine flag until the customs officials checked us in later. They never showed up. So after about 4 days, we took down the quarantine flag. We picked up a few appliances there because our boat came from Europe and its primary inverter is 220 volts. So we got a couple 220 volt appliances, toasters, and things we don't need to mess around to make our toast and tea in the mornings anymore. And here's a tip for Southport. Next haul out, we can do the Fred Flintstone style haul out. This is amazing. They have these big poles with rope wrapped around them, and they got skids on the beach, and they grab that telephone pole and rotate those big poles and wind those boats up onto the beach. Love it. Hey, Andy Hellenbart, let's do it next year at Southport. So I had to replace the wind instrument, and we did that on a nice calm day, and Marie hoisted me 62 feet up the mast. I took a couple of photos while I was up there. It was a couple of hours. We had to take the old wind instrument off, pull the cable out, run a new cable through the mast, attach the new one. Of course, the new one's brackets didn't line up with the brackets from the old one. So it was a couple of hours and a couple of trips up and down, but we got it done, and we switched over to NEMA 2000 for that wind instrument. It goes with our chart plotter, communicates well with all of our systems on the boat, except for speed and depth. They're still on the old system, but the new system, NEMA 2000, is working out great. Really liking it. These views are amazing. I highly recommend it.
Hey, there's Newfoundland, and we're coming back into Canada. Marie is hoisting the courtesy flag, quarantine flag for Customs and Immigration. We gotta hoist that until they clear us through into the country. So we did our arrive can app this morning. Said we're coming back. Showed them our vaccine certificates. They said we're good to come back. Now we just need to finish the last mile or two into the harbor. Talk to you guys when we get there. And there's not Camp Fortune. There's Fortune. And somewhere in that pile of rocks is an entrance to the harbor. It's kind of a thing about going to a new harbor. You never really know where you're going. We got our chart plotter, which kind of gives us a good idea. Zoom in here. Let's see where Camp Fortune is. There Fortune is. Right into the harbor. All right. See you again in a few minutes. And just as we come in the harbor, we got lots of wind. The wind generator's flying. Brees says Aaron's not paying attention to what he's supposed to be doing. Have my eye on the charts. Turn over here. There we are, tucked in for the night at Fortune, Newfoundland. Can you see the boat over there? Let's see if I can find it. All we can find is our black mast, surrounded by a bunch of fishing boats. There's our yellow quarantine flag. Although we cleared customs, we're good. We're in now. Good night from Fortune. Beautiful warm spot.
This is Cape St. Mary's. It's a bird sanctuary. We visited several small towns along the way. After we left Fortune, we stopped at St. Lawrence, and Eddie was very helpful to us there. We went to St. Bride's, we went to Trepassey, and finally Firmoose on the way into St. John's. Every place we met, people were helpful, catching our lines, giving us vehicles, driving us around, helping us to get fuel and propane, groceries, and just wanting to chat. Great people out here on the south coast of Newfoundland. Come on out and enjoy Newfoundland. It's amazing. And this is the St. Mary's Bird Sanctuary. Those are thousands and thousands of birds on those cliffs. I think they nest there. They're protected. And this is where they rear their young every year. Lots of gannets. Lots of kittiwakes, a few puffins. It's a beautiful sight. We didn't want to get too close to shore, but we'll give you some shots as best we can.
Look at these two twins right here. They were like, took off at exactly the same time. Like an airship.
Yeah, O'Hare Airport, there's so many birds.
And this was the most stressful part of the trip for Marie anyways, and not good for me either. This is Cape Race. It's where the Labrador Current peels around the southeast coast of Newfoundland and runs into the St. Lawrence Current, and you can get big waves, you can get nasty winds, 25 knots higher than the winds in the surrounding area. And of course it was foggy when we went through, just to add some complexity to it, but you know, we got lucky, we timed it right, we got in there when at slack tide, or as close as we could, and we had good winds and we cleared it nicely and the pressure came off. Then it was a straight run north up to St. John's. We're stopping for Moose for the evening and off to St. John's in the morning. So Cape Race, spooky, scary, but we got lucky. It was a piece of cake for us. Very much appreciated. And around the Cape and on to St. John's, safely on the harbor. We left at 5:30 in the morning, got in at 2 o'clock in the afternoon because the big winds were coming up, and they did. We rounded the western bit into St. John's Harbor. We were doing 7 knots, and we hit 8 as we were coming in and trying to take the sails down. Big winds. But we got there in time before they really blew up, and we didn't have to spend the whole day out there. It was only about the last hour we were doing those 7, 8 knots. Once we got there, we went for some hikes along the harbor up to the point in Canada where Marconi received the first transatlantic message. That's a Signal Hill. Beautiful spot, nice views, ocean on one side and the community on the other. The whole town looks like this. There's many, many streets downtown with these jelly bean houses. It's amazing, very picturesque. Love it. We need more of this. And so for those of you who hung on this long, now comes the real good stuff. Let's talk more animals. Here come the shots of the whales and the dolphins. So stay tuned. We got about another dozen minutes or so, but it's the best of it all. Let's bring in the stars of the show. Oh yeah, look at them. You see them? Yeah. They're catching up. Taking their time. You can kind of see them underwater. They're really bright blue, like luminescent almost under the water. Coming up right beside us here. Now you can see them down there.
There's lots of them.
Yeah.
You okay?
Yep. They're heading away. Well, thanks for the show, guys. That was amazing. Oh, one just jumped. He came like 80% out of the water over there. I think we got him. They're jumping. That's amazing. Keep jumping, boys and girls.
There he goes.
Woohoo!
He's playing.
Yeah, there's a spray. It's gonna cross in front of us. Oh, there's a second one. There's another spray further out, twice as far. Closer in. He's on this side now. There he goes! Oh, big splash!
He doesn't get a good rating from the Olympic committee.
Here, whale, whale, whale. Come on. There's the tail. Wow!
Oh, you're abused. Yeah, you go, buddy.
Blows. Two more blows, closer. There's at least 4 in there. Right in the harbor. diving right here.
Yeah,
Whap, whap, whap. You getting them?
they're just part of the scenery.
Okay, and let's get some sails down.
Here's the tail. That's the tail.
How's he sticking his tail up in the air like that? Wow!
That might have been his wow. Very itchy.
He's kind of in our path. We might have to go around him. Wow! He's a humpback. He's got the white on his tail. He's not in distress or anything, is he? Okay, I'm going to change course.
So that's it for this episode. We're off to Greenland tomorrow. We'll be 7 or 8 days doing that crossing, and then we'll catch up to you later. Track us, marinetraffic.com.